Guys, Ryan Bidoff here, blogging from paradise, going live on Facebook and YouTube for the first time in a while, and we're gonna get the podcast up and running. So, I wanted to take a few moments to talk about AI, not Allen Iverson. That would be artificial intelligence, and it seems to be all the rave these days when you're talking about writing and publishing posts. Now, I'm in a new setup here in the Berkshires in Massachusetts. So I wanted to find the optimal lighting situation. And uh, I think I'm going to have to move this back a little bit. So might be looking down a little bit. I don't mean to look down on anybody. You know what, actually? I think I can get. Hold on one sec, guys. Be with you in a moment. Still here, still here, still here, still here. All right, that's a little better. That definitely works. All right. So, guys, when you're talking about using AI or artificial intelligence, basically bots to write your content and then to publish your content, there's a few downsides I want you to keep in mind before you go this route. The first real downside, or I'd call a negative, that will really affect your blogging career adversely is the fact that when you don't practice your writing every single day because you depend on AI, artificial intelligence, to write your posts and then you click the publish button, your mind gets weaker, your writing skills diminish, you become less confident, you become less clear, you become less genuine, you become less authentic, you become less trustworthy, you become less credible. And the reason why all of these downsides unfold is because as a blogger, your number one skill is writing. You have to write, Erica, confidently, clearly, and cogently to actually make money, to influence people to trust you, to see you as being credible. And that's when they click on your ads, when they buy your ebooks, when they buy your courses, when they hire you to coach them, when they hire you to write their articles as a freelance writer, when they hire you to be a consultant. That all happens because people trust you. People trust you because you could write skillfully. People will only believe and trust that you write skillfully if you practice writing like the Dickens. You have to write so many millions of words to become really clear and confident as a writer and blogger. If AI is doing all the writing for you, you don't get the practice. And forget blogging for a minute. Your mind gets weak. Your thinking ability, there's the raw power of thought. As far as mind training, when you have bots or machines or computers do everything for you, or more and more for you, this gets weak, the body gets weak, but especially the mind. The mind gets weak when you don't use it. And that's why AI is just generally, as far as writing content, that's one of the chief downsides. It's a bad idea because you won't develop the one skill that you need to develop, become really successful. Now, Erica, now another thing to keep in mind, I know a lot of bloggers out there who are pushing AI, they would say, well, you don't have to be a skilled, confident, clear writer because artificial intelligence, AI, these bots, say AI, will write the content for you and make you a lot of money and gain a lot of trust and will build your blogging business. And I would politely say, bullshit. Because it's a very important thing to remember. At the present time, in this moment, artificial intelligence or AI, that technology in this moment may be sufficient, capable, able to brainstorm blog post ideas and to outline blog posts. Thumbs up. But to actually to write a full blog post that sounds like a human wrote it, that sounds clear, that sounds cogent, that sounds smooth, that doesn't sound awkward, that doesn't sound robotic, that doesn't sound clunky. AI can't do that right now. And it's still far away. Because every single post that's ever been AI, when I'm 1 to 2 sentences in, if maybe a paragraph, if they did some slick editing right off the bat, but one paragraph in, I'm like, a computer wrote this shit. And I don't read it because it's stupid. It doesn't sound intelligible. And if you think so, you're lying to yourself because you want the lazy way out. And that's okay. I get it. Erica says it. Listen to her, guys. If we do not use our mind, our ability to use it right will atrophy. This is it, guys. And another example, like this second downside of it sounds AI posts, they sound terrible. They sound bad. It doesn't sound like a human wrote them. So you're not going to gain credibility. You're not going to gain trust. You're not going to make money. You're not going to impress people. You're not going to publish a respected blog. So those are the two chief downsides. And as Erica said, guys, if we don't use our minds, you are your mind. You have to really use it and train it to become sharp-minded, to live from love and abundance and unity and oneness, and not from fear and scarcity and separation and laziness, and to not live from the sleeping mind. Like right now, you're seeing a lot of people around you, and they're moving around like mannequins or dummies. And I don't mean dummy in a pejorative, nasty sense. I mean like a dummy that you see in a grocery store. Or let's say a crash test dummy, when they put the dummies in the cars and they go flying. Mannequin, dummy. You'll see a lot of bodies, human bodies that appear to be moving around or being moved around like dummies. So the body's moving, but the mind's asleep, partially, fully. When the mind's asleep, people obey just because their mind's asleep. Yes. Live from fear. Yes. Do this. Yes. Do that. Yes. Use a computer to do your writing. Yes. Use a bot. Yes. Do this for me. Yes. Do that for me. The mind goes more into deeper sleep. And like Erica said, it atrophies. As it becomes weaker, the sleep becomes deeper. And as the sleep becomes deeper, you are easily manipulated with your fears like nothing. We're 2.5 years into the dominant news story from early 2020, and there are still people that put diapers over their mouth and their nose because the part of their mind is deep asleep. This is an example with fear. So if it's deeply asleep and there's this deep terror of death or being uncomfortable or murdering people, 2.5 years into this dominant news story, there's minds that are asleep enough where they're putting a diaper over this. And that's an asleep mind. That's when the mind's asleep. There's a portion of it that's completely asleep. And you're not thinking. It's weak. It's not thinking. It's not sharp-minded. It's not strong. It's not fearless. It's asleep. So when you really think about that, using AI makes your mind go deeper and deeper into sleep because you don't use your intelligence. You rely on artificial intelligence to do stuff for you. And I get the benefits of technology. I mean, instead of having all you guys meet up with me here in the Berkshires of Massachusetts in person in a theater or in a concert hall, wherever, in an auditorium to have this talk, You're able to speak with me and engage with me all over the world on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live, through my podcast. I get that. Podcast. However, there are certain points as we could choose to either evolve or devolve. And this is one of those points where it's like, no. These are really big downsides. And ultimately, trust your gut. Do what works for you. You know, if you're thinking genuinely from your divine center, it would be that way, but that AI will really help you, then I guess you could take that route. But if you really listen closely, like Erica says, even worse than asleep, it disconnects from the source we can create from it. Yeah, we all work off the source, guys. That's the reality. We're all one with the universe, with God, with this infinite intelligence. So that's the source of this right now. That's the source of me speaking to you, speaking these words to you. The mind, keeping it sharp. Mind, mind, mind. Erica says, which is 100% true, when you rely on artificial intelligence, you disconnect yourself from the source. As we keep the mind asleep, that actually will help you to not only outperform AI, but embarrass it, humiliate it, to be light years ahead of it. People think that it's powerful. It's not shit compared to what you can do when you are in harmony with the source, with God, because that's perfection. That's unlimited. I mean, when I went down this road, and I've since removed a lot of the ebooks just to focus on a few, but I wrote and self-published an ebook a day for 3 months in a row without AI, but with here. And that's what happens when you dial into the source. 5,000 words, 10,000 words. But if your mind is weak, it can't do that. And if you rely more and more on artificial intelligence, on bots to try to do the work for you, which is crappy, low quality work anyway, as far as writing and publishing posts, your mind's going to get weaker. And the weaker it gets, the worse your life gets. That's just like, if you want to see people whose lives appear to be nightmares that are really struggling and suffering, it's all up here, because the world just reflects back to you your beliefs. It reflects your largely unconscious mind back to you, but your conscious mind, when your mind gets weaker and weaker, and you're using AI and the content's not good anyway, not only will you struggle, you'll have so much more of a difficult time gaining credibility, exposure, skills as a writer and a blogger. Your mind will get weaker. So those are just two real negative downsides that will really tend to ruin your life. And it's your choice. And you're going to see more and more articles. This post was written by AI. And maybe they will improve artificial intelligence. And if they do, they do. It is what it is. But where it's at right now, guys, it's not there. It can't beat what a trained, clear, sharp human mind can do. I want to say human mind, but mind in connection with the source of mind. Inspiration, influence, your divine center, your heart, passion. You can't recreate these elements. You can't recreate these characteristics artificially, because it's not quote unquote real. It's artificial. So you can allow the ego and its fear, its greed, its desperation to say, yeah, let's just use this artificial intelligence and let's churn out 500 AI generated articles daily. Or you could just move past that and develop your mind and do your own writing and publish something light years ahead of AI. It's really up to you guys. So we're like 15 minutes in. I'm going to do a little bit more. It's about 3:30, so we have some rain coming here. Maybe walk the dog for a little bit or just do a little bit of writing. So guys, the two biggest downsides, AI. Number one, your mind gets weak. Never a good thing. Your life will get ruined. It will just be very unpleasant the weaker your mind gets. No writing skills, no confidence. You got to practice. You got to write to become clear, confident, sharp-minded, skill to gain trusting and credibility. And number two, the quality of AI work as far as writing and publishing posts, very low quality. AI right now is good for a brainstorming mechanism. A device, it's good for maybe setting up outlines for posts. It works pretty well. And I'm just getting this from people who use it, who are my blogger buddy network. I've never used it. That's it. So it's low quality content. Your mind won't be there. It's just, in general, it's not a great idea, guys. But again, listen to your intuition. It'll guide you. It will tell you what to do. You ultimately make the choice. I'm feeling tired now. Maybe time for a nap a little bit. Thanks so much, Erica, and everybody who's joined on YouTube and listening to the podcast. It's been almost a month. No, 2 weeks. So on the podcast front. But I'm doing a lot more wisdom chats, which have been fun. This app called Wisdom, personal development type stuff. Quite awesome. So see you guys later. Ta-ta, Facebook. YouTube. Later, skaters. And as for the podcast heads,